know, here's what you do. So you're right. Like it's like the fire can burn hot, and then it just becomes a like, yeah, maybe not. You know, somewhere, something around somewhere, it just kind of, they just were like, I'm passionate, but not enough to actually take the next step or maybe something happened in their lives for whatever reason that sort of.
No, like things can happen, but this is what I have found. See, I know this is based on this. Okay, I'm doing this every day. I don't have to do this every day. I can do other things. I can do nothing. Like these things to do. Hey,
I can do nothing.
it's the easiest thing in the world to do. It's the absolute easiest thing in the world. All you gotta do is be. I can say exactly where I am, and nothing will happen. Or if it does happen, it's very slow. It's a very slow progression. So I can do that if I choose to do that. Or I can say, you know what? I can try this. I can show up and do it. Like I have 8 rules of success, and the first 2 are show up. Rule 1. It sounds like a dumb rule.
No, I hear you say that a lot. I hear you. So there must be a bunch of people that have. I keep thinking, I was like, how many people have disappointed him and like aren't showing up? Because that's a huge thing for you. It's a huge thing for you.
It's amazing because people don't do it. Right. It's not even hard. It's not like it's not even like a zillion people. It's just you recognize again, passion separates you whether you want it or you don't, right? But it takes discipline to do it day in and day out, and that's
discipline. Yeah,
the thing, right?
Right.
Discipline to do it day in and day out, but honestly, I read this actually from an advertiser based out of New York. He actually, one of the things he talks about is so like for talented people to succeed, he uses billboard ad history to explain the secrets to career successes. It was a great little book, and I cannot remember the title to save my freaking life right now. But I found it at Glenbow Museum, and I love and it's actually in the book. Show up, right? It's amazing how many people do not do that. This is why attendance counts in school. This is legitimately the reason why it counts in school because it's the most basic, simplistic thing. Right? Just going somewhere, making the effort to go somewhere, be somewhere, do something, right? Indicates a commitment, right? That's what it really comes down to, right? I say it so simply. I'm happy if you show up because that means that also tells me at least on some level you're committed. Now you may not be as committed as I am. You might be more committed than me too. On the flip side, I mean, it's possible, right?
Of course, yeah.
But the bare minimum is you're here. You're here and I know I know this sounds freaking dumb.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah.
I mean, I'm like you. Here's the thing. I'm sure that you've had this too. You've hired people, right? I mean, I had to. I mean, I'll be blunt. I had to back up because I wasn't ready to work with you at that point in time. All right, it just wasn't in the cards and everything else I was doing. Like, I had to make a choice about what was more important to me, and at that time, right? And it's not a knock to you at all. It's just the honest point is at that point I wasn't ready. All right, other wants were more important to me.
Sure.
Right? People do what they want to do. And once you understand that, you can forgive anyone anything because now you can just recognize, okay, I don't need to be mad at you if you aren't here. That tells me that something more important to you came up, and it can be anything. And you decided that sleeping in was more important for you that day than coming in, and it could be that simple. Maybe there was a real emergency, like maybe something really important happened. Like that's the other extreme.
Sure.
Right. That's the other extreme. Or somewhere in the middle, maybe you just found something you were more passionate about. I mean, as long as you let me know, we could. I mean, then there's no hard feelings, right? I recognize the fact that again, I have no control. I have no control over anyone else.
Absolutely.
Right, and that's kind of what I'm, how I do this, how I see this, how I look at it. I mean, it's not that people. There was a brief period about 3 years ago when there was this period where I had to realize these things, And once I realized it was really easy to forgive. Also, consequently, it's easier for me to filter people out. Like I can immediately tell.
Yeah.
Now I can immediately tell. I'm kind of ruthless this way, but I think you have to be. My time is valuable, like just like your time's valuable.
Of course. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm yeah. I mean, yes.
It makes sense. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you've had people that have committed to you, like I'm just throwing myself on the bus here. I'm sure other people have committed to you that.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about it. Yeah. It's sure. Yes.
Yeah, right. That just like, that just been like, they just don't. And and really what you're mad at, you're not mad that they didn't do it. You're mad that they gave you an expectation and they just didn't follow through. That's the part that makes you mad.
Well, and a lot of times too, when you're the owner of the company, what if they don't show up, it all falls on you.
Absolutely.
Everything falls on you, and it looks, you feel terrible because you haven't serviced the client properly. You feel terrible because you're the person that hired the person that hired or whatever. Like it all comes back to you. So yeah, it sucks. It's disappointing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to just like you were saying, you're like, okay, I forgive you. Let's move on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I certainly had a situation like that. It took me a while.
Well, no, it's okay to be pissed. I mean, honestly, no, like.
No, I'm actually not anymore. I'm in a much better place, but it cost her. I almost had to shut my doors.
Yeah. No, it's more along the lines of it's when it happens. Like I said in the last.
I was very angry at the time.
No. Like if they had come to you, before any full commitments were made, before you had plunged in and said, I can't do it, that would have been a lot easier to.
That's different. No, that's different because then it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna do it, but there's no contract. So that's very different. That's a whole
no. It happens all the time. That's a big thing because the expectations aren't set yet, right? Yeah. And that's the big thing, right? There once there's a commitment, once people commit to each other, there's an expectation on both sides.
Absolutely.
Right.
As there should be, right?
Yeah, that's it, right. That's being professional. That's being business. That's being like that's just looking at it completely the way it is. I've learned that for me personally, that that's the thing. Like it's learning how to kind of temper expectations. Obviously, much like you, once we get to the point that the pen's to paper, we're in. Like that's we're in. And what annoys me at that point, and then it's a little easier to annoy me because if you decide that you aren't as serious as I am, why am I here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, yes, that one clicked perfectly with you.
Well, and let's just say too, people don't understand that they make a choice and the repercussions that choice has. People don't think if you leave. So I'm trying to be very delicate, as I'm sure you're gonna understand why.
If you don't want, as long as you don't name names, you're good, right?
Yeah,
as long as you don't name projects.
Yeah. If you back out of something, let's say, they don't understand that affects X, Y, Z, which then affects X, Y, Z, which then affects X, and before you know it, you're talking a ton of ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is the reason I almost had to close my doors.
Yeah. So. Oh no, and obviously
you're right. People do need to show up.
Yeah.